Is logged into the application, the very first screen you will meet is the dashboard. Here you will see a notification summary, which will give you an indication of appointments that have come in, some billing information, as well as messages. To the top right-hand corner, you will see the user who is signed in. And to the left, you will have a listing of modules, which can be different depending on what type of user you're logged into. For each module, you will notice some section headings that will carry you to a specific area within that module. So for example, in billings, we can see sections of invoices, payments, providers, etc. And we can also see a table here. Any table within the platform has a filter that allows you to narrow down your search for specific information. And also, wherever you see PDF and Excel, it means that you can extract the data out of the system in either an Excel or PDF format. Patients have the ability to book their appointments online. To do this, they visit their clinic's website, look for the appointment section, and select a provider. Here they can choose the type of service in which they want to request and add any other notes as necessary. They also select whether the appointment is a virtual or in-office one, as well as the date and a time, which could be either in the morning or the afternoon period. Then proceed to book the appointment. The form that displays is registration of the patient. If the patient is already registered with the clinic, they can log in directly by using their username and password. In this case, I'll go through completion of the form. Move on to the next step. Here you confirm that the information given is correct. If there are any errors in regards to completing registration or selection of your services, you can go back and make the update as necessary. All right, so go ahead and click confirm once all is okay. It has some security checkpoints, so you have to enter a verification code will be sent to the patient. So once that is entered by mail, you can proceed to put that in and verify. Great, so the appointment has been created. Now the patient can log in and update some information if they'd like. Receives an appointment, he is notified. In the appointment module, he can see a list of all appointments that have come in and view details of that appointment, or those appointments rather. He can also look at the medical history of the patient that would have booked the appointment, and that would be very helpful for him to make future decisions. Based on this information, he could decide to confirm the appointment. And in this case, a notification is sent to the patient advising that the appointment is confirmed. When the day has reached for that appointment to start, the provider begins the appointment, and based on the results of the examination, can enter information in the various tabs. So it all depends on what the examination is about. Right? Right? Enter the information in the relevant fields and save. When the examination is over, he can proceed to close the appointment. Right? Complete the information in the relevant fields. By default, the service rendered here is the one that the patient would have selected when they were booking the appointment. However, if any additional services were rendered, there is a listing where the doctor can choose any additional services and add it to the list. And of course, the patient will be billed for it accordingly. There are fee schedules that are configured. So the practice may have a standard fee schedule. However, other providers may have a different fee schedule. So then costs could change depending on which fee schedule is chosen. But in terms of discounts, that can also be configured. Later on, we will show you where the configuration of the discounts are done. And here is where it will show you what the discounted cost will be based on these services. When you hit the close appointment, this will then trigger the creation of the invoice, which we will discuss in another video. An appointment is closed and invoice is generated. The clerk is able to see if any new invoices were created, and the billings module will display a table of those invoices. Open an invoice to view its details. The invoice will show each service that have been rendered, the cost, and any discounts that have been applied. You can also use the PDF and Excel features to download the invoice and send it to the patient. When the cost of the invoice is quoted to the customer, they can choose to accept. This changes the status to confirmed. So this gives us the indication, the status gives us the indication that the patient has agreed to pay the amount. You can now pay towards the invoice. Here you can select the services in which you want to pay for by selecting these check boxes, or you can freely type the amount that you wish to pay in the box. Right? Select a payment mode and any notes as needed. Payment towards an invoice generates a receipt. So we are now in the payment section. This is a table of all receipts towards invoices, as it shows the amounts paid, etc. Also, this can be downloaded and emailed to the patient if necessary. Other sections that we can discuss include providers. This shows you a list of all the providers on the system, and you're also able to see any billing activities that these providers have. All right, so for this provider, we have all of these billing activities that would have happened, all these patients and what the status of their payments are for different invoices. So these are all the billing activities. Reminders can be sent to your patients as a notification in their inbox. To see where those reminders are configured, the appointment module comes with a reminder section that allows you to configure pre-appointment and post-appointment global reminder settings. Here you can see in the table for pre-appointment, you can see a list of reminders that have been created to be sent either days, weeks, hours prior to the appointment. So you click add new and you can enter the information here. Here's where you're adding those details. All right, and set it to either active or inactive. Inside the post-appointment reminder settings, you can complete the form to show what the lead time is and all of that. So for example, if you need to send out a reminder to a patient 6 months after their visits, you might want to put a lead time of 1 so that this reminder goes out at least 1 month before the time that they should schedule a visit. So that is your post-appointment. In post-appointment, you also have the ability to configure custom reminders, and that can be sent to a particular patient. And here's where you can select who the patient is and how you want that reminder to go out. All right, this one is just the general one that will go out to all patients that need to be reminded. But if you need to configure something specific to one patient, you can do that in the custom reminders. Plans can also be recorded for patients. Let's take a look at where the data for the treatment plan is going to come from. So in the treatment module, you have 2 sections, one for procedure codes and one for medications. So for the procedure codes, you can create a table or a listing of codes either manually by clicking the add new and filling out the details of the form and saving that. It'll show up here in the table. Or you can try the bulk upload option, which allows you to take a formatted Excel sheet such as this. You have to list out the code, the name of the procedure code, etc. And upload that, search for it on your browser and upload that into the system. Once you've uploaded it, you can check your logs and open the sheet that the upload record, and it would list all the procedure codes that you have uploaded into the system. A similar fashion can be performed for medications. You have a table of medications. You can add new medications by filling out the form, as well as completing the bulk upload option to show it on the list. Doing this then allows the provider to give treatments to their patients. So here you can create a treatment plan, right? You can add a new plan here, select the patient in which you want to add the plan for, and select the appointment that relates to the plan. And here's where you can enter other details as necessary. Right, so you complete the form, and then there are some other sections relating to procedures. Here is where you can add the procedure codes that you would have seen how we did the upload in the previous slides. So here is where you can select what are those codes based on what you've uploaded. And you could also add some medication and prescription, stuff like that, and save that information. So this is how you create a treatment plan. Okay, so we have the treatment plan created here. Similarly, for prescription, you can add a prescription for a particular patient. You can add medication, and the information that you see here is going to be based on what you would have uploaded previously. And just continue to fill out the details of the form or the information that is needed and save that. And this is how you can create your prescription. The services section is where the clinic is going to define the services that are offered. So we have a standard list of services here. Additional services can be created by either the clinic or the provider. To add a service, you click the Add Service button and enter details on the form. And this is what appears once it's marked as available. This is what appears in the front-end website available for patients to select when they're requesting an appointment. The fee schedule shows any fee schedules that would have been created. So, for example, the clinic may have a standard fee structure. They may also have fee structures from insurance companies. So here is where you come to define those fee structures. And when closing an appointment, you can select a fee structure based on what has been defined here. In the closure of our appointment, we also saw that there was a discount applied, and the offer section is where you're going to see that discount, where we are going to define the discount rather. So here has a table, and to create a new discount, you hit the add button, give the discount a name, and fill out the rest of the fields and save that. So once a discount is here, it will be available in the closure of the appointment to be selected. Patient registers with the clinic. An account is also created for that patient. A list of any appointments created can be viewed, and the patient should also proceed to navigate to their profile and make any updates to the form as necessary. Right? Including medical information is important because it helps the doctor know the history of things that would have happened with the patient. So it's always a good idea for the patient to come and put in any information here that would be helpful for the doctor, any allergies, any medications, conditions, etc.